What is crack-a-lackin', my homies? What is going on? This is Nick with Raw Day Trading, and I am here today to talk about a repeat of the same sort of bullshit action. Anyways, today I'm sitting down $172 after fees, so only $142 here. You can kind of see it on the left-hand side there. That's where I keep the profit loss. There was this one stock that had lots of potential, showed lots of potential, and just ended up being too tricky for me to read properly. And I just kept the pattern of buying, selling in the wrong places back to back to back, and therefore shaking myself out of a good day. So, whatever, right? Whatever. But sitting down, we'll call it break even. I mean, compared to $700 yesterday, down $700 yesterday, down only 170 is not a terrible day. Although it's frustrating, although I could have profited, although there's something fundamentally off with the way I approach these stocks, and that's what we're going to try to look at today. I am okay. I'm okay. GXAI was annoying. I lost. Let's just look at some of these stocks here. GXAI. This is not going to be on the recording, so I ended up losing some money up here on this retracement on very small size retracement. I had like 400 shares, maybe 375, I believe. And I was kind of just like testing it to see if I could get any edges on it and how it was responding. No dice there. CADL, sort of a similar vibe, although I'm only down $20 on it. This was the pre-market kind of mover, or early this morning mover. Gets out here in the open. I don't trade any of this. I try to trade some of the backside right here, and it's no good. Sometimes the backside's calmer. That's why I generally tend to go to it so I don't get caught in big whips and LEAS. Now we're doing this game. All right, so this is a game. This is a stock I was playing. This is a sort of dangerous situation. You're coming out of. This is real time right now, by the way. Coming out of sort of a zero volume consolidation for all intents and purposes. And for this price range, I would like to hit it with 7,500 shares. I'd like to hit it with 4,000 shares. But to be honest, I don't know what that's going to look like in terms of liquidity on the way in and out and how it's going to respond. I have an idea that it's going to be okay. I think it might be okay. But this is what I got myself into trouble with yesterday. I have a feeling it's going to get up to 18 here. But this type of standalone million shares of volume just is not something I'm super interested in trading, especially out of like this foundation of just like hanging sideways, this kind of algorithm controlled action where it's 107, 108, and the algos don't let it go anywhere else. They'll like hint that it goes somewhere else and whatever. So that's what I don't want to trade. Anyways, we'll watch this for a second here as I queue up some video. Bullshit. All right. So my video started pre-market. Yeah, see, it's probably going to go now, especially because I don't want to trade it. Such is the way of the world. I don't know. I'll keep it off on the left-hand side, just so I can get back to it if it actually does start moving. All right. So I've got a couple things to review. First off is my pre-market trade. My pre-market trade from 925. I had a pretty intuitive entry right here at 12 on CADL. Rode it up to 1260s. And then I basically left the computer and went to the bathroom, and I caught it popped up. I was like almost at $1 profit. I mean, it's one share. It was like a test trade. But then I was like, oh, this is gearing up. What ends up happening is I average into it. It's not averaging down. It's actually averaging up at this area right here. I add another share, so it's at 12.18. Again, this is 2 shares. This is no trade. This is not really, because I'm not a pre-market trader at the moment. And then it just finds itself down below, way below my entry, and just volatile and down below support zones. And, the only thing that I'm looking at, I guess, which I didn't recognize in the moment, was this descending trend line. And I'm like, okay, that's okay, but that's not what I want it to be. So I cut it. I took an L on it, even though it was the test trade. It was kind of a foreshadowing for today, although it wasn't up $600 or whatever. Now right here, this starts looking like it might be a curl. I take a couple trades on it at this moment. This is with a few more shares. Pops up for a second. It's only 500, but whatever. Pops up. Coffee is so soothing sometimes. And then it reverses on me really quick. Let's look at that rate one more time. So this was the AMPG. It's a very tricky algorithm setup and how it interacts. And basically, I didn't cut it right there. I was like, wait, you're supposed to cut it right there? Oh, shit, what happened? I didn't even notice that, I don't think. This is why we review. Yeah, okay, it was stepping down, and I didn't realize it until, maybe 1 penny off. So that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So the way these move, they're a little bit different from the average bear. And that's why, I just wanted it to open up. It kind of showed you here that it would do this thing of where it pops above, reverses, pops above, reverses. And so in this circumstance, you have your pivots down, pivots that are stepping down here. And it was kind of more true to the chart pattern than the level 2 pattern. AMPG had 8 million shares of volume, or 8 million share float, and actually a very high amount of volume. Like late into the day here, like it's already 31 million shares of volume. It's already up 85%. I mean, that's a lot of volume. So anyways, I guess I could have kind of taken that into account. CADL, sort of a similar thing, 32 million shares. Actually much more money in this one because it's a higher price and the same amount of shares. And then this one was just holding sideways. So that started dying. A little bit annoying to lose $30, but it's nothing. Bell opens, and honestly, I didn't see much I really, really liked. I had NIVF up here on the left-hand side here as a penny stock. I was like, maybe, but that chart didn't look great. It was just super dry volume into the open. CADL kind of trending sideways, needed to sell first, and then when it sold, I just didn't. I kind of lost my appetite for it. And then AMPG in my price range, in something that I'm familiar with. But what ends up happening is the volatility of this right here, where it just like checks every side multiple times and slowly chugs to where it's going to go, and then, kind of unwinds. That I wasn't ready for. I wanted it to be a more natural mover. This was not a natural mover. So, when you're dealing with these synthetic like moves, you really have to adjust your trading and your entries, at least into the sense that maybe size down. Like, I would have loved to take 7,500 shares on this stock if like I was able to really understand the liquidity and where I could get in and out, or really trust, or like even just have them moving just slightly slower. But this was a main name, so it had a lot of volume pushing through it. And it was tricky at the same time. So let's see what I do. Let's see what happens. See, I don't even trade it with any size. I trade it. I wasn't even trusting it with 1,000 shares, and it's a dollar stock. So that's crazy. So I knew it. I knew it in the moment, and I was cautious about it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when natural stocks move, when natural action happens, it tends to not test multiple times at the same location without actually breaking through that location. And then when synthetic stocks move, they tend to flip up and down and flip up and down and flip up and down and shake, 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 you bake. And it tires everybody out, and then they go. So, is what it is. It's almost like they just wait for me to stop out, which is fine. I can adapt to that. It kind of leaves it to the question, too. It's like, when do you actually cut then? How do you hold on if you don't know where it's going to go or when it's going to go? I don't know. Good questions, right? LAES on the left-hand side. LAES I had high hopes for, really high hopes for, 7,500 shares queued up. But at the same time, it did look like it was a descending pattern. We'll see it in a second here. It was a descending pattern into the open. It was opening low. It was kind of algorithm controlled, sort of like what we just saw. CADL. Let's watch this one more time. Oh, man. I really got to get better at trading these bigger names. All right. Tapping on 13, tapping on 13. Is it going to break? Is it going to break? Pulls back. It would have been below where I would have entered. But it's holding. It's holding, so I guess I'm holding. Enter again. Huh. So now I would be heavy in this. Still not breaking. Boom, there it breaks, cut. That would have been a good trade. Not gonna lie. And it's looking like it's gonna halt up here. I'm not focused on it. Now at this point I feel like I lost it. At this point when it was just at $13, I felt like it's gonna reverse. So, and just all this is like, yeah, AMPG, good not trading it, not looking good, whatever. Although I do add some size here. Wow. Okay. So one of the notes is that reversal AMPG notes. It looks reversed. Or no, there's a green candle, a strong green buy candle that just gets reversed and by lots of volume in 3 candles. Green open, reversed by lots of selling volume and 3 red candles. All right, so creates a lot of liquidity here. Like you can get in pretty easily down here, but it gets crazy if you're trying to scalp it on a short time frame, which this is what, okay, I traded the creep lower as well. That's a big thing. Try not to do that. I took a trade off the 3 creep lower. 3 candle creep lower. What happened there? Okay, so the other thing that I did is I jumped pretty quickly from LAES to AMPG in this. I'm going to make sure everything's recording right. So I jumped pretty quickly from here, from LAES to AMPG. And I jumped in. And then the other thing to notice is how this action on the level 2 unfolds. Plus, it's the last minute of this 5-minute candle. Yeah, lots of problems there. $500 problems. Okay, so this is looking bullish. It looks like there's people buying. It looks like it's going to open up. What do? I take a position. Immediately, it's below my position. Okay, does it go back up? It goes back up. All right, I get out, break even. Actually, I get out very generously at 163.5. Sorry, I just need to set an alert here. Okay. So I get out very generously. Yeah, that just looks terrible. It looks like all the bad mistakes I made yesterday, basically. Or not bad mistakes, they're just mistakes. Okay, and then it goes back up to 65. And I get back in, thinking that it's just gonna like elevate above. I think I underestimated. So this is the second time. Today was second time I underestimated significance of high selling volume. High selling momentum. We'll just say momentum, because there's a lot of selling volume. There's some buying volume, but I think momentum will capture a broader array of the situation there. All right. Okay, so we did 1 trade, 2 trades, down $130 now. Again, jumping back in the same spot, right there. And immediately, down below. Down below. And I think that's where I eat it right there. Wow. Oh. And that's where I got rinsed. A pretty decent size. So I did 3 trades back to back at the same minute, same price. I had 3 trades back to back on the same minute and the same price. This is a mistake that I've kind of struggled with, because I see that it works sometimes to do as Marcelo says, micro scalping. Mighty shout out to Mighty Stocks and Relentless Trader. Micro scalping. 2 things here. The odds probably aren't in my favor at the lows here, and micro scalping probably isn't the right strategy in this location. So I got to write that down too. Micro scalping is probably not at lows. After lots of selling. This might be a situation where a hold would be appropriate. I don't know. So 3 trades back to back in the same minute, at the same price. That was a problem. Micro scalping, I had some size on it, not crazy size. It's just like 4,000. Okay, let's exaggerate here for a second and say that my 3,700 shares. Actually, we'll just do. I have a calculator, so it doesn't matter. So 3,750 times 1.6 equals. I had 6,000 share positions, and I just traded it back to back to back to back. There was the longest hold I had, and I held for a long time because I got in, got out, got in, got out, got a small, took a 1 penny loss, 1 penny loss, 1 penny loss, and it just kept going back to the same price. And then I get in again. It even went above the price. What happened there? I get in, get out, get in, get out, and then I think holding for a second is the way to go. And so I'm trying to adjust to this in real time, and it's not working. Okay. So it took me a second to figure that out. And then it pushes above right there after I cut it. Jump back in just below 65, but 65 was resistance, so now it's below resistance. I think I jumped in because I saw the buyers on the bid. Yeah, this is some level 2 shenanigans here. And then I was too slow to cut it when it wasn't working and when I didn't realize what I was doing. And then that ends up being the low. And then I slow down right here when it actually goes. All right, give me a second here. when it actually goes, I get out of it. So, anyways, that was what it was. Whatever. This one, where can it go? I don't know. I don't want to take this. This is just midday garbage, it looks like. I doubt that it kind of opens up. There it is. It's going to go to 18 now. 17 or 18. Pretty sure. There's 17. I'm not in it, by the way. Just watching this. I'd be irritated if it gets... Oh, there it goes. There's 19. What's it going to do at 20? So 20 up here was 23 kind of was like a level 20. Yeah, this volume is just kind of light for me. I don't want to trade it. As much as I do want to trade it, my experience from yesterday was just terrible with it. So, It looks like something might be trying to happen here, and it does have the look that it could open up, but it's under the 200. It's such stupidly light volume. Really don't like that, how light this volume is. And now this candle has a lot of volume, and it's not really gone anywhere, which to me just means sellers have kind of piled in. I mean, if it gets above it, maybe, but... And then maybe a target would be 34. I mean, it's just not, it's not super attractive here, yeah? I don't know. Okay, onwards and upwards. Let's go. Let's keep reviewing. I will put another alert just above. If it wants to keep continuing, we'll interrupt my review time once more. So this is... To be fair, this is breaking one of the things I had from last week is no reviewing during the trading day. And that's actually another reason why I don't want to trade it, because I find there's some difficulty jumping back and forth from review mode to trade mode, especially because you see it out of the corner of your eye, but you're like, I see it out of the corner of my eye, but I want to keep reviewing. I don't want to interrupt the review and then jumping over. I usually end up, because of that, jumping over a little bit late, and then jumping over late just tends to, you're on the wrong side of the move after that, especially if you're doing short-term stuff. So that's we're gonna keep rocking here on the review. And okay, so CADL into whatever. We have the first green candle here, and now I'm kind of like emboldened. Now I'm like, oh, there's a chart pattern. I probably should have waited for here to start with, to break the chain of selling. Okay, I get in here, and yep, this is a difficult one. This is a difficult one there. I get back in again in the same location. I'm green for a second here. I'm just waiting for it to... I'm getting frustrated at myself just watching this. Not really frustrated at myself. I'm frustrated at the stock. And so now that puts me down probably like 540 after fees. And I'm just like, really, dude? Really? Like, you didn't want to go on that trade? Okay, so that was just, it didn't work. It didn't work. It was into the 5, 9 EMA or whatever this green trend is that gets respected a lot here. Give me a second, I'll figure it out. What is it? It's the 9 on the 5-minute, I don't know, some arbitrary garbage. Arbitrary garbage that gets respected, whatever. I try not to trade off that stuff. I try to keep it as simple as possible. So that's just FYI. You see some squiggly lines on the chart, doesn't mean that I actually care too much about it. The only one I really care about is like this. This is kind of like a sentiment. a little fast time frame sentiment thing. Okay, so wow, and now I'm down about 600. Jesus. Okay. Okay, so I'm green there for a second, and it's just looping around. I can't. It's just like the read is much harder when there's no spread. I know I've said this before for those of you who have watched my videos and stuff, but the read is just much more difficult when the spread just gets jacked together like that, because God, take another L, and it's like I was up for a second. All right, so now what do I do? What's the move here? This is what happened. What's the move here? This 5-minute candle looks sketchy, but it's probably going to get reversed at some point. It's above a big, gap window line. There's a gap fill if it can pop up to 220 something, but it has a lot of selling volume. And now I think the move would be to wait. Let's see what I do. And I could be wrong. Maybe it just goes from here, because that last candle made a new high. But I don't know. I'm already down about $600, and it's very early in the day. So I'm not pretty irritated. I'm just kind of meh. I start trading LAES now. I get off of AMPG because I'm frustrated with it. AMPG is not dying though. LAES, I get a break-even trade. I don't even I have okay size queued up, but like for this one, the way this one is moving, I probably should have 7,500 shares queued up. But I'm playing defense. I get one good trade there. Now only down 400. Yeah, man, it's just. I wasn't annoyed in the moment. The annoyance, it's like if you go like jump in really cold water, you're actually not that cold at first, but you get cold afterwards. Like it takes your body a while to heat up again. And so initially your body just responds by like numbing the coldness, or like pumping enough blood to where, and like heating you up enough to where you stay warm. That's kind of like with trading, is like you don't feel the L's initially, you don't feel the mistakes initially. And if you're not sensitive to it, you could get out of hand pretty quickly. I was trying to be really cautious of that happening today. So that's why I sized down. And that's kind of what happened on AMPG. Like it got out of hand pretty quickly. It didn't move how I expected it to. And I traded too much on it. I would even say it would be better just to double my size and trade half the amount of time, because at least then I'll have a higher likelihood, because I'm thinking, to have a good trade. It's an interesting. That's an interesting thought. So if I'm more precise and I've doubled the size and I trade less, I think that could actually really fix my numbers, because I've done this before where I try to get in trading somebody else's style, and I think it's good. Like there's like a fine line between like learning what other people are doing and then like how you can improve, and then like trying to trade somebody else's style. And right now I'm taking a course on Merciless Markets University, MMU, with my buddy Marcelo. I mean, buddy's a loose term. Like we met up and like we stayed in contact. But I'm taking his course, and it's just like the way he trades and the way I trade are different. And I think I tend to apply his way of trading, or I've been trying to apply his way of trading to situations where I need to be trading my style of trading. And then in these kind of like high flying names and super high volume names like CADL, like right here where it's like halting and stuff, I need to be trading more like him, and that's why I got it. But it's still like it's like these kind of intermingling clashing of styles where a couple things are getting mixed up. So, that on top of just trading with much bigger size than I was earlier this year, it just is what it is. Anyways, moving on. So, still trading here on LAES on this side. This is where I'm still focused on. All right, and then now I'm jumping back. Uh-oh. Why am I looking at AMPG? I don't know why I'm looking at AMPG in this situation. I don't know why I'm looking at it now as opposed to when it tested this level here. Give me 1 second. All right, what's going on here? What's going on? Do I want to trade it at the highs like a chump? LAES now going. This is live again, by the way. I know it's kind of hard to tell from the recording to live, but this is back live. How about I stick with what I said, and I'll come back again if it gets to, let's say, 25. Okay. Stick with what I said, which means review. All right. So another thing is I did not pay attention to chart levels. I did not take it into account. Sometimes when I am a little bit, how you say, focused on the micro levels, I tend to stop trading the macro levels and take into account macro levels. So this is a possible focus for tomorrow. Account for macro levels and trade off. It's a dangerous one though, because sometimes it just goes over or under. Yeah, here we go. Just making sure it's not running. LAES is pushing now. This is the one I wanted to go earlier. It has room up to 1.4 live again. I know it's weird bouncing back and forth. I'm sorry. It's actually weird for my brain too. I'm sorry. Okay, so the macro level we have 127-ish. Yeah, this is just really thin volume. Like these candles, the way they're so boxy like the way they're so boxy like this, it's just telling me like there's just market maker tricks. I'm just checking macro levels just in case I jump back in and it's cruising above 25. All right, so back to the longest review of the century. Already 40 minutes in. I'm about a third done. All right. Okay, so this little dip down, I do want to rewatch this to see how this looked. What do I think? All right, so 61 coming down. It's trying to break down lows. This is a perfect setup to break down. Continuation breakdown. 55, 57, 56, 57, 56. It's not breaking. Does it go to 54? Buy right there. See what happens. Just hold. And now if it holds these lows, then that would be, well, positive. I would cut a little bit right there or all of it. And that honestly would have made up for most of the loss on the day. Interesting. That one good trade. Okay. So that's definitely paying attention to this macro level. This is a gap level right here. Actually, I'll get the daily chart out to show this level. We got, see, this is our friend. He's doing the exact same thing VRAR did yesterday. VRAR also took me from up 250 on it, maybe 300 to minus 400 on it. And that was basically the loss I had yesterday. So, you know, I'm going to adapt by not trading this unless it starts getting active. And when I mean active, I mean active. Active. There we go. There's 21. Okay, so this is the gap level. Oop, 20 got to 22, but we're still reviewing. 25 is the level. So this gap level right here is what we were playing against. Interesting. That's a massive gap. Let's look at it from the 1 minute. So it fills the gap in the pre. Fills the gap in the pre. And then out into the open. This is where I was at. I was thinking it would just keep continuing down. It tests. I could have been paying attention there to see if it held. So this kind of goes with like not having enough bandwidth to like focus on everything well all at once. Everything happening all at once, because it did end up making a higher, like a curl right here, up to the $2-ish level. Would have been a great trade if I was able to hold that. Didn't happen, but this is what it looked like on the 1 minute. And it wasn't super clean, but whatever. All right. Getting back to the tape now. You know, this is a $500 lesson I get to learn from. At least I got it on tape this time. At least. It's funny, like, I have a big issue paying for like computers and stuff and buying stuff I don't need, or like maybe I do need, and that is kind of like infrastructure stuff like computer, but I will spend the same amount of money on stupid trades and then just not review them. So at least this way I can learn, take some lessons from it. I can do what I need to do. I cannot make the same mistakes, or at least inform myself of the mistakes I keep making to then try to come up with a systematic, adjustment for it. Anyways, let's get back to it. All right. So, fast forward a little bit. See, that's not looking good. And actually, I do try right here. Interesting. I get in, and what happens? Boom. Okay. So I get that trade. Solid. Now I'm only down to minus 425 on this stock. Yay. Zippity doo dah. Only down 320 on the day. And then it keeps going. I'm going to have to look at CADL. Oh, man, CADL. What a wild, wild name. And then it just keeps going. And then it's like, what do I do from here? I don't know. Like, I don't want to just buy it at the highs right under 75. I just don't see that as the way. I could have sized down, but it's such a low price name. I shouldn't be afraid of this volatility, but I am, because I made so many mistakes too, and I had such a bad win percentage. I got 5 cents off that. No, wait, 4 cents off that. Yeah, 4 cents. And I don't know. What's happening here? It's not going. It's not going, and I'm not trading it. Both of those things are good. Is it about to go? There's a seller lining up. Interesting. That was a small scalp potential right there. If I were confident I wasn't going to get slippage, that would have been okay. Now it's pulling back after testing high. LAES is at the highs, and I'm trading that, but it's not on a chart. It's already tested high here, so I'm gonna trade pretty high here. Get a little scalp there. Down 264. I think I go green actually in a second. First time in the day. I gotta keep fast forwarding it. LAES halts up. LAES halts up. This does a little recovery off that candle. Uh-oh. LDTC. Now I change stuff. I look away. This is going. Yeah, this is some tricky action. I remember. So now I'm looking to get in. Oh, that looks sketchy. Do you see that? That just like flipped. 85, 83, 82, 78, 79, 90. Check that out again on the level 2. 87, 86, 85. 84, 83. So you're thinking, this is reversing. I'm not going to take it. 81, 78, 79. Look at this. Look at this chart right here. Look at this level 2, and then watch this. I don't trade this. I don't get in. 79, 70, 90. So I don't even know if there was liquidity down there. 88, 86, 85, 85, 84, 82, 81, 78, 78. It's just like, I don't see anything that. Yeah, I don't know. That was fast. Like, there was just like just evaporated higher. And then now, what are you thinking? What are you thinking right here? I am thinking that this is going to go to 2 and explode and fill that gap, whatever. Let's see what actually happens. By the way, I did really good not trading the LAES right now. That was moving, that I was, jumping back and forth from. Yeah, and look at that. From 90 back down to 70. All in that same 1 minute candle. Jeez. Okay, and then this is another couple mistakes I made down here. I think I had the right idea, but I executed poorly. So now I'm fighting against a really rough looking 5 minute candle. If I trade that. Oh no, I'm trying to trade CADL. Yay. And then I changed from that. Okay, cool. So we're focusing on LAES now out of the hall. So part of the AMPG, we're just going to say it was wild. Was wild. I want to see if we can find anything that gave us clues to why it was so wild. AMPG. Let's look at the daily. So the daily had a massive gap. Daily had massive gap. Gapped up into that gap, tested. Did it test both sides pre-market? This did pre-market. 8 mil float. What type of company is it? It's a quantum computing. Supplier. Sort of recently had an offering. Huh. Interesting. Recent offering. How recent? 15 days ago had offering? Huh. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that I can find that kind of puts this in a reason why it's just so whippy and wild. I mean, you get all this stuff on the chart. Chart is spike high, reverse, spike high, reverse, spike high, reverse, gap lower. And in fact, I'm going to double check on FinViz. Oh, our good friend is coming back. AMPG. Let's go. Yeah, it's a 9 million float. Okay, that's about right. Shares outstanding. Okay. Doesn't really explain it. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just chalk it up to being wild. I'm getting hungry for brekkie, baby. All right, what do we have? So we'll call that done on the AMPG study. There was a little bit more action that we're going to watch I think in a little bit, but we'll see. 954, the trade on LAES. What did we do? Ugh. Ugh. So why did I not take this one? That's a good question. I mean, the 5-minute looks sketchy. There. 23 would be the buy spot. Huh. Good cut there. Cut if I didn't already. Big seller stepping in, or decent sized seller stepping in. All right. That's done. 10, GXAI trade. Okay, so now I'm looking at GXII with basically no size. I don't like this stock. It's a super continuation, wacky trading stock. Probably no reason for me to get in it. The daily is kind of just like grinding higher almost. Yeah, and it's not at highs. It's just it's trying to break out. Even right now, it's looking like it wants to go. Okay, so I'm going for the break of 6 here. It's holding for a second. I cut it. I feel like I was trading above 6 too. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so I was trading above 6. It had popped up. I buy at 31, pops 34. Then seller steps in. It looks like it might break the seller, and then I hold too long. And I hold way too long. Okay, so let's repractice that, because that was a 20 30 cent 20 cent loss, 22 26 24 23 cent loss. 23 24 cent loss. Okay, so shake. So buying, okay. It's not going. Oh. Holding, cut. It's quick, it's subtle, it's trading. Buy. Cut on the seller. Yeah. And I'll practice it one more time. All right, coming up. The 10-minute candle is about to close, or like the 10 o'clock is about to close. Buy. Ooh, sell. And that would have been a $20 loss, not a $70, $80 loss. Okay. Check 1004 LDTX low. LDTC. Which miss did I do? LDTC miss. Huh. What did I miss? Actually, I want to go back to this one where, yeah, right here. Let's see what this looks like. So this 5-minute looks like poopy, but you know, whatever. We'll see. We can take the low, see if it goes. Red, more red candles, LDTC. So now looking at this stock right here, this setup is what I trade through. I wasn't watching it. Interesting. Oh, and that just flips real quick. These are kind of fun if you can get them because they're so. Ooh. So if I were to buy into that, it would have been my position would have been in the 40s, like maybe 41 or 42, 241, 242, and I'm like, this gotta go, it's gotta go, gotta go. I'd be cutting right there for sure. Buy back maybe. That'd be sketch. Yeah, if you can get these, they are very rewarding. Oh, this is such like, yeah, like people aren't buying, people are trying to sell this. Algorithms are trying to sell it or buy it or whatever is happening. It's a interesting happening. And then like you're like, oh, it's at the 50s. Should I sell it here? Well, I don't know. The candle looks pretty decent. I would say put a stop in the lows at 40s, mental stop at least. Just let it ride. See how this candle closes, and then decide from there. Yeah, it's like somebody's trying to buy it, and then something's trying to keep it controlled. I would say market makers trying to keep it controlled, and maybe human traders trying to buy it. All these like little micro dramas playing out within this one candle. And then the buyers that bought at 65, they're like, ooh, am I going to get bailed out? I don't know. That doesn't look good. There's someone sitting on that offer. And then now it's down 10 cents. Do I hold it? Do I let it reverse against me? If it does, I don't know. What do I do? Do I add? Yeah. Oh, there's a big seller. Oh, no. Oh, no. What's going to happen? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, at the depths of the lows, it starts looking good again. It starts looking like there might be a little hope. Not too much hope, but a little hope. It starts building. It starts building. And there are stocks halting down. And then it pops to 66 all of a sudden. You're like, what? And if you're short, you're like, uh-oh, get me out of this. And you're at 75 all of a sudden. Voila. And just like that, you almost have no liquidity up at 75, and it's back to the 50s. And so for whoever was good enough to like wait for that, prescient enough, they are now like, darn, how do I get out of here? I wanna exit. And so next chance it goes up to the 70s, I think it's going to be a sell, or like there's a sell right there, and now you're like, oh, if I was holding this since the 40s, so just get out. I'd probably just get out. I would get out. And that 1 minute candle has 2 million shares of volume, and it isn't even the biggest candle, Yeah. Oh, and then now it's pushing a little bit here, but it's getting stalled. And the 5 minute candle is about to close. So there's just so much stuff going on. And it's the first red candle of the run. Like it's 3 bars up and first red minute candle of the run. And you're just like, you know. And then it goes lower. And then now you're back down kind of close to break even. But wait, now it's back in the 60s. And now it's at the highs at 70s. And now there's liquidity up there to get out. And it's just like, wow, come on. I would not expect that. But then you do have some coherence. You have, look, down here it didn't go until it tested low and went up. Here in this spot, it doesn't go. It kind of like gets stepped on, and it doesn't go till it tests below, the 50 level. And boom, you're back in. And it's like, oh, can it hold? Can it hold? Oh, it's at 60. It's teleporting a little bit. Bop, 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 bop. Boom, 70. Getting out at 67, 65. Who knows? 70s. And all of a sudden, you're up, what, 20 cents on that trade if you could have held, if you could have taken that risk. So there's a lot of funny things going on in the stock market. A lot of little micro dramas. It's fun to watch. Sometimes it's fun to participate in if you're on the right side. And it's hard to be on the right side. That's why day trading is risky. You think you're on the right side, and I would argue that you're meant to think you're on the right side, because that's probably when you lose the most. It's like in poker, where people will make you think you're on the right side, so you bet more. And so when they have really good winning hands, you bet the farm. And you bet into their winning hand, and they're like, because if you always knew the other side would win, you wouldn't ever bet. So it's really good to read poker strategy. I think poker strategy is good, but day trading is risky. This is not investment advice. This is just my own personal kind of diary that I like would be entertaining for other people, for the homies, for the dudes, for the lads that are trading out there, and all the ladies that are trading. This is a very masculine-dominated sport, I would say. Girls are much better at choosing better careers that are more stable. Guys want to risk it all or have nothing. Just is how it is most of the time, statistically. All right, this is an hour-long review now. Come on. Okay, so LTD. So let's go 1026 to 1033. I'm getting a little bit okay, so this is me trying to take all of it off the bat. I can say doesn't look fantastic. Like the 5-minute chart doesn't look fantastic, and I don't like the 1 minute, and I don't like this stock in general. So preface everything that I do with that. But I'm thinking maybe it surprises up to 245-ish. That's what I'm thinking here. Now that I'm looking at it. So I'm looking at LDTC. My hand is on the buy button. I'm like, what's it going to do? It's already had plenty of sells, obviously. Like, it popped to the high, got sold, popped to the high, got sold. Did its 3-candle run up here, got sold. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking trying to take it there. But I think it was appropriate to watch. Oh, AMPG. I wasn't. I was watching AMPG. Okay. So, stupid stock. Let's review AMPG, and this is the one that I really, really, really needed to review out of all. It's the most important one. I know it's a long review, and I know that I've been talking for a minute, but this is the one that really needed to be reviewed. So, AMPG. I'm sitting here, I'm watching. Little bit of a 5-minute setup here. Sell at the high, still has potential, kind of getting beaten down, kind of not dying. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, it's doing its little churny thing. I get in, great fill at 69, out at 37 or 73. And it keeps going. It's already at 75, 76. But it's at the highs of this like little pivot. It's at the highs of 75. It's usually where these get reversed. And so I'm like, I don't know about that. And when I say I don't know about that, that means it's supposed to go. Gets a little selling there. A little selling. Kind of back to lows, but then it's back to highs again. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? Okay, now this candle looks especially tasty. Why do I say it's especially tasty? Well, look, you have a slight but noticeable amount of buying volume. You have very little selling here. You have multiple attempts higher. You have a new micro pivot high. And then you have a chart where it's like, yeah, this thing might be able to open up. And there's stuff going against it. You got all these down, like you're like lower high, lower high, lower high. You have the trickiness of the stock, and then the time of day, it's 10:30. The half an hour is coming to a close. So what's going to happen? And I'm watching this. I'm watching this for sure. My only question is where I get in. I don't want to get in at the highs. When it goes too low, I think it might be dead. Probably when it goes too low is a place to get in, though. Just statistically. So where would that be? Let's see if I can time it. There. 73. And I'd be sketched out right here. I'm not going to lie. Holding. Nailed the entry. Let it do its thing. It's kind of holding here, though. It's not really going. I would probably be getting out. Oh, no, wait. Okay, then I would get out. Now, if I saw this happen, like I'm coming into it now, where would I get in? Or should I get in? In. Out. In. I even get in there on the trade. I get a little slippage. And I cut it. I'm out. And I sized down for this too. I meant to keep on trading, and I did keep on trading. So I like that. I did good. I did good in that respect. $78. I get in. Dips down to 75. Dips down to 72. I cut it. Okay. Look at this chart. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Look at this. That looks like death. That looks like I just gave back $150. That looks like no bueno. Adios, muchacho. 73 by 72, 68. It goes even lower. I'm actually thinking about buying again. Okay. It's not dying. I get back in. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I did have some stamina on this one. I did lose. I did try again. And it was lower. It wasn't the same price. What happens? It's getting held down there. And I'm worried about it. If it goes to 66, 166, oh no, it goes to 169, 71. I take a small win. Very small though. Goes back to kind of same level. Same level. There's a bid in there, and I jump in. Okay. Now at this point, I'm even so focused I almost didn't see the 1030 had closed already on the chart. And so I missed the timing. This is not looking great now. And I jumped back in without realizing. If I had realized it was the close of the half an hour, I would have given it some space. But I didn't. It looks like it's kind of going. I think I'm going to try to cut it right here because I am lost. I am nervous and I have lost money off my highs. I gained a little there, and the only thing I have going for me is it's not dying, so I cut it right there. And then I get back in. I'm like, this has got to go higher. And then I cut it because I have not much confidence in this setup, and I have a bad track record with this stock and a bad ability to have the prescience to see where it's going and what it's doing. That's the problem here. And the 1 minute's about to close. What's going to happen? Okay. It's still holding. It's still holding. 2 seconds to the 1 minute closing here. 1 minute close. And it starts buying, starts coming in. Just slightly there, but you noticed it. It's the level 2 right here. Buying, a little more buying came in. And I get distracted. I get distracted by LDTC because LDTC is going at the same time. Uh-oh. Or LDTC is hinting at going. But then this one starts to recover. Interesting. It's not looking super great. It's just kind of recovering. Kind of like grinding up. This one looks like it might have some potential to 2.6. Who knows? This one, however, is moving. It keeps making new micro highs, new micro highs, new micro highs. It's about to like reclaim the high here, and I start paying attention again. The problem is I was already paying attention and I just let it go. It's always the most difficult to choose what to pay attention to. And then it just, wow. It's showing some numbers. It's not holding those numbers, but it's showing some numbers, making me think like, okay. Little Mark Norman there. Interesting. See what it does here. I'm willing to get back in, but it's such a treacherous stock. Look at this stock. Look at all these moves and how it moves. It always gets reversed. That's basically the rule. I get in. I buy into that seller. And I sell into that buyer. 4 cents lower. And then it's back up there again. It's back up to the 80s. It's kind of holding here. There's a little bit of a buyer. Goes down to 75, 74, 78. Okay, so I'm back in at 77. Huh. And then it does that. Okay. I buy. I sell. I'm about to buy again. Teleports up 10 cents. Literally no liquidity in between. None at all. Watch that one more time. So 79, 76. This is what made this one so difficult. It really, yeah, look at all that. Tick, 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 tick. Someone just hit a huge order through. They're hitting it. They get filled at 85. It dips down to 77, 78, 79, 77, 77, 78. And it's not even big orders. That's the other problem, too. Like, these are not huge orders that are filling. And I'm not trading with massive size. I'm trading with less than 2,000 shares. And it's just like whoosh, up to 87. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 89. And so now I have a choice. Do I want to trade it up here? And let's look at the history. The history is that I'm down 500 on this stock. 1. 2. Every time it's at the highs up here, it has gotten beaten. Absolutely beaten down. 3. It has tremendous liquidity trickiness crappy grappies. Gaps. Liquidity gaps. So I don't trade it. I don't think I trade it. I maybe trade it. It has a pullback. Little micro pool. Don't take it. And then it's already at 2. Another micro pool. It's at 214. And so that is the question. What is the differentiator between this time it went and then this time and then this time that it went? I would say the differentiator, just from seeing what I see now, is that when it was here, it was a 2-candle build. And it had already tested high and rejected multiple times. And so this 2-candle build was closing. And so even if you wanted to take it at the close of the candle, that liquidity just wasn't really there unless you were doing it 5 seconds before. And 5 seconds before, looking at this here like this, I'm like, maybe it could fail. But it had tested down low. It had recovered quite beautifully. It had held that recovery, and it was very close to closing. 7, 8. Was that kind of like a pivot? 9. And then doing the breakout right here. Okay, so it gets up there. I would definitely even difficult to get liquidity up there. You're probably getting filled at 205, probably, even if you're thinking you're selling at 214. I don't know. I could be wrong. Depends on what TD wants to do. Now it's back below 2. Now it's tapped the top side of that range, and now it's really pulling back. And so do I trade here? I don't think I should. I would say no. I would say no, and I'm happy that I didn't. But it could have been the right move. 96, buy 98. And then I'd be selling right there. 91. And then it's going to go. So it's not the first one. Not the second one. The third one kind of goes, kicking and screaming. And the target would be 219, right? Now it's back below again. And then it just did that evaporation thing right there again. 94 to $2. And it's going to go here, I think. Is it? Take a couple trades there on LAS. Don't really care about that right now. 5 minutes about to close. 5-minute closes. And Unloading again at 205. Pernicious. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm watching level 2 here, trying to put myself in the moment and try to trade it. And I would be in at 211 right now and just not enjoying myself. That's where I would be, just not enjoying myself. A little double top action. Probably would have cut already. Probably be cutting right here if I hadn't cut. And then it's going to go right here. Boom. So I might have been able to get that. That second one I had decent timing on, but the first one I probably would have cut for a loss. And so, just and then looking back on it, looking back at the chart here is just not beautiful. Wow, look at it. And then it really goes. But it is consistent. It is just like it just goes, that 1 minute just stays consistent, just grinds out all those short sellers, all that drama that I had on the micro time frames on the level 2 just evaporates when I'm looking at the 1 minute chart here. Everything just seems to make sense looking back on it. You're just like, oh yay, it just kept going up and then exploded, made new highs. I don't know. All right, check that, and we got one more to watch. Honestly, I probably should be watching here. Oh no, it's a good thing I didn't watch. I think I didn't trade that. 11. Oh, okay. How does this go? Probably in the same annoying freaking way that the entire stock moved. Tries to die right here. It doesn't die. Test the patience of everybody involved. It's about to close. It's looking ugly. I'm thinking reversal. And because I'm thinking reversal, it's thinking highs. Because that's just the way. It's gonna fake to the lows. Fake to the lows. Fake. Just do the fake. Do the fake to the lows. Okay, now it's pushing higher. What do I do here? To buy? Fake. Buy at 18. Ooh. Okay, gotta get a little comfortable up here. As long as it's not flushing down. And there. Do we get a little teleport? Do we get a teleport? Give me a teleport. Come on. Teleport. Teleporto. Los deportos, teleportos, telemundo, en el mundo, teleport. Come on, vamos, teleporto. So I'd be holding around 18 still. Buscando el teleporto, looking for the teleporto. I wanted to teleport to 30 here, and it is not giving a clean move. It is a choppy move. It is a choppy. It is a nasty chop. Very nasty choppy. Nasty choppy. There we go. Now I'm cutting at 26. Get 6 cents on it, or 8 cents, whatever. Then it goes a little bit higher. Okay. Then it's probably going to go even higher. Buy. Cut for just as I cut, it goes. Anyways. And then it really goes. Wow. Okay. So this is an interesting study. It's an interesting type of volatility. Like, it's a really good algorithm, you know, really, really good algorithm. High quality, fake outs. It got me. I mean, I'm pretty experienced with these algorithms, and like I was getting in and getting skunked pretty quickly. Um, so, you know. Oh, and then this kind of dip. This is the dip. This is like, okay, I'm thinking, I'm thinking here that we're going to get. So it's the 11 o'clock. Things to know here. The hour has closed, which is important. It's a significant hour. I mean, it's only significant in like the fact that it's a new candle. So a lot of volatility tends to be clustered just statistically at the close of these candles. This is pretty high selling volume right here, but not crazy. I could see it testing high 2.5 before it goes, but it kind of already did that test high at this candle. And then now I'm looking for a dip here. I have really small size. And I'm like, where's it going to dip to? I'm going to buy right there. That's the top of the gap. Trying to buy the top of the gap right there. So I get in at 18. Kind of pushes lower, so I cut it. And I'm like, oh, pushes lower, so I get down at 14. Pushes lower from there, and I cut it again. I had decent intuition. Buy again. And then, wow. Yeah. It got me. And I think that put me to where I am now. I'm pretty sure. I just want to see at the end here, where does it end up turning around? Is there a specific number or a pattern? It's like, yeah, below the pivots, and then a candle coming back into it after the 5-minute close. Okay. Interesting, but not really necessary. And then it kind of grinds its way up to 215, whatever. It taps to 200. All right, that was my 2-hour review. No, 1 hour and a half. Just kidding. Not 2 hours. I'm exaggerating. Anyways, day trading is risky. Don't do it. Beware. Be warned. Most traders lose money, like I lost money today. Except my money was pretty well managed, I will say. I do declare that my money was well managed. And what else? That's it. Make sure to trade in a simulator. Then trade with small size if you first start trading, because the execution prices are much different than in the simulator. I'm not your investment advisor. This is not investment advice. This is only a journal of my journey as I day trade. Anyways, peace out. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you later. Bye.